Hey guys, welcome to Fajar Indarto channel. Today, we are going to talk about those questions that arise in your head. You are confronted with a situation to speak to a native speaker in English. I just want to say, first of all, I'm pretty sure you heard that many times that it just all in your head, but I know we need to dig deeper and talk about your fears because I had those fears like even now when I speak Indonesian. Because I'm perfectionist, I get very nervous because I know I make mistake and I know forget words and I know everything like this can happen. And my face turns red and I just and actually starts happening like when I'm relaxed my Indonesian a lot of better. If I'm in environment just talking to my friends or just talking to someone at the store or it will be great. The reason I stopped recording videos about Indonesian just because it's been declining and I have those fears, but I also have them in English. But with English, I understood that English is a tool, it's instrument that used to improve my life. Without it, I won't be able to achieve my new goals. So I won't be able to get a new level whatever you took of my university development. So today I'm going to start with fear number one. Fear number one. People are gonna laugh at me. The only time I've laughed in the terms of my English when like life in real life, I get mocked about my accent a lot on social media. But it happened because I get hundreds thousand views and I understand even kitten get dislike on YouTube. There will be people who are unhappy with whatever I'm doing because I'm doing if they're posting bad comment and hating comment for whatever I do. But I also understand sometimes it's actually good to have that feedback because people tell me, "Oh Fajar, that was wrong, that praise wasn't correct." But they are laughing at me. They are telling me how to improve and I accept that with a gratitude. So the only time I've been loved actually happened when I was talking to my friend. And so I've never had people like in real life love me. Say like people say, "Oh my god, your English so bad." No, what are you doing here? Ever happened in my life? I started practicing English when I was 14. I was hanging out with my friend and teenager. If you're speaking English and social media, just be ready. um, I come from a complete different culture that I never spoken English to my parents or my grandparents. So the only exception here is social media. Like if you're speaking English and social media, you must be get ready, head comments, and even if you are perfect in English, even if you are 120 out of 120 TOEFL, you post a video how you get that score, you will still like a bad comment. It is impossible your English is not good enough. Like there will always be people in social media hating you, but in real life there's like some people is friendly in real life. Who I meet people who I talk to in English when I was intermediate, they're really friendly and really supportive. So it's all in our head, and I think if you have this fear in English, like people will laugh at you. You have it in another aspect of your life. So it's just another reason for you to sit down with yourself and think about like I don't like to be everyone, and again I'm a person who has this feeling. All the time I want to be liked by everyone and I want it. I'm fighting this like once I start my channel I realized that I can't be liked by everyone, but it was really hurting me every time I read negative comment about myself. It took me a while to understand and realize that my goal is use my talent to grow as an entrepreneur gitu, but whatever as a man, do best, and that I can what other people think about me, it's other people business. They have their own understanding of reality. They have their own experience. Maybe they just have a bad day, but it doesn't have anything to do with me. If you want to dig deeper on this problem, I really advise you to read a book. Start to achieve them another thing, and I could recommend watch the one on the Netflix. It talks you just about women entrepreneurs who little ruthless. When I was thinking like if we're at her place, I would have definitely given up, but she continued going. I really encourage you to read this book and watch the one on Netflix. Just read the interview if you don't want to watch the film. Related to this topic because this would be help you in your life in general, not just English. Of course, you will realize that the majority of people will love you, and if they will, it is their problem. It's not your problem. You're doing your best, you're doing practicing your English, you're putting effort into being understood by people. Why don't even speak your language and don't even make an effort to learn your language? Let's move to some practical advice regarding other things that you can do. So there is one other fear: what if the conversation gets too complicated and I won't be able to support it? It also get this fear for example, again, I can really relate to this in English right now because of my language is pretty bad. I would say it's pretty advanced to talk about all kinds of topic, but with Indonesian, I can totally relate when people start asking me about business or anything. I understand that I will start a conversation. I will talk about my company, but if they start digging deeper, I would like it's too complicated. And what in 2018 I had surgery in Indonesia. I was surprised I was actually able to communicate with doctor and nurse about medical stuff, because basically when we talk about English we have words that make up of the conversation and what you really need to know. If you know those 100 those 1,000 words, if you go into specific conversation you can always ask for a definition of like specific words. So it was in Indonesian doing that surgery, it was like, and what is this? I don't know, 5 or 6 words that I needed that were related to that surgery. The conversation become really easy because you don't need to know like the whole idea of surgery medical stuff. To support an advanced conversation, all you need is those 100,000 words. And also, if you're like, I don't know how many words I know right now, this doesn't matter, actually matter. If you forget a word, if you don't just Google by your phone and Google Translate. It will be help you full. Show your party this word and you will be totally fine. And this way, you learn this word really fast. Another question is that what I feel shy. What if I stop and freeze? Okay, this can be happen. Well, if you are too nervous about the conversation, the trick that helps me a lot is pretend that you are someone else, because again, stopping freezing is to do something with what's going on inside your head and with you internally. Like maybe you are again thinking that people are gonna laugh at you because your English is bad. And just there are so many thoughts in your head that you can just process them. So imagine that you're a different person. You probably, if you're speaking to native speaker, you are in a new country, nobody knows you, and once this conversation is over, you will be part ways with this person. Just pretend to someone you like, someone you admire, like famous blogger that you really like. I don't know, try to pretend to be someone else just for this conversation. It just lets you first go it. And one thing I want to remember here is that when we talk to a person, people pay attention to our body language, to our facial expression or emotion. Even if you say something incorrectly English, they would understand you didn't really mean it. And also they would understand, like if they tell you about something you like, you don't understand, but you just say yes. And a lot of times people will tell you but didn't understand, right? They would explain in other ways. It's okay to say, oh, I didn't mean to, sorry. It's okay to say, oh, I didn't mean that, sorry, that was offensive because my English is not good enough. It's okay. But if you're smiling, if you're open, then people will understand that you didn't mean to offend them. That it was like, I'm sorry, that is something that we use to in our culture mix up the word people. The word people would understand now if you're not to offend them. Next, let's wrap this video with a couple of tips. If you have an important conversation with English coming up, maybe you have an interview with a university. I remember when we were preparing for combinator interview, it's accelerator here in Silicon Valley. The worst mistake that you can do is actually overthink. It makes sense to prepare, it makes sense to go through questions that were asked before in this kind of environment. Like go through questions that university asked during the interview. Go through questions that people are normally asked, but I would say take your time, prepare for 2 hours, but you don't take too long, because when it takes too long, it takes day. We over prepared for a combinator interview. Instead of relaxing, instead of just catching a vibe Silicon Valley, we were just brainstorming how we're gonna fight that small company that is trying to do the same thing like us. people there didn't even know about it. Like now, when I look back at it, it is important to know what you're talking about, like tell your story or tell I don't know why you're interested in this. Or if they ask some complicated question, it is almost impossible to predict what they're going to ask. So learn some basic things, but then you let yourself relax. Watch something in English, just put yourself into that environment. Before the conversation or before the test that your brain switch from your language into English, it will be a lot of easier. The next tip, to be nervous, do it anyways. Michael Jordan once said, being nervous is not that bad. It just means something important is happening. It's happening. So my tip here, and I'm nervous because it is important conversation. I understand that my English is maybe not good enough, and I haven't pressed it a lot, but I'm gonna do it anyways. And I'm gonna use this conversation as a practice. After the conversation, I'm gonna sit down and think what was good and what was bad. I was really bad like analyzing things afterwards because I'm this perfectionist, and when I shoot a video, I don't want to see it just because I understand I could have done better. This is an endless process, but actually taught myself to look at numbers. I took myself to actually sit down and think I did wrong, what could be done better, and it helps me a lot. Your progression, so after the conversation, sit down with yourself and think, did I do everything wrong or bad or true? I could do, and if not, just have some tips for yourself for the next conversation. And I have this note in my phone where I just put in things that I could do better in my next videos. So I have those tips that I always look at before an important video, and I just remind myself that I make those mistakes. It is okay, it is good that I know about them, and I'm gonna be better in the next video. The next tip is do until feels normal. Just keep having those conversations in English, keep being shy, keep being nervous. At some stage, you're gonna be tired of it, especially if you're English speaking country or if you're applying to universities. Like I have a lot of people here in Indonesia who are applying in universities, mostly children of my friends once. And the interview number 10, you just get tired of it and you just get used to it and you don't feel nervous anymore, so keep doing. Also adopt the growth mindset, something we've already talked about, like I am bad at speaking English, my accent is not good enough, but I'm using this as a way to practice. I'm using this a way to conversation as my next to my improve. The next, learn to laugh at yourself. No, life is simple. We overcomplicate so many things. We tend to think that this meeting is game changer. No, it's not. You can always do another meeting. There's so many people in this world. There are so many opportunities, and if you don't get any result from upcoming conversation, doesn't matter. You can do a lot more conversation, and the most important thing that you have yourself, have your time, have your brain that helps you can speak English. Like don't create problems for yourself. Enjoy your life. We have only one life, and I want you to go ahead and enjoy it. Look everything from a positive perspective, especially if it is something like smaller conversation with native speaker. Come on, it's gonna be fine. Life is smile. Tell yourself that if not today, you're gonna make it tomorrow. If not tomorrow, you're gonna make it in a week. It will be fine. You will get there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please subscribe and like my video channel. If you have friends who are struggling to speak English or any other language, please share this video with them. I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!